Daphne here from STEAM Design Lab with a marble machine project tip video. In this video, I'll show you how to make a simple pulley and a decorative variation that I call a string spinner. To start, you'll need cardboard from a cereal box, some white glue, a few rubber bands, a marker, a compass, and a pair of scissors. You'll also need a ruler, some masking tape, a push pin, and a small round cap or bottle, something smooth and cylindrical that is about 1.5 inches in diameter. The first step is to make the center tube. I'm drawing a straight line about 5/8 of an inch from the cut edge of the box. Anything from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch away should work. This distance will determine the depth of your pulley. The length of the strip you cut isn't critical. It just needs to be long enough to wrap around the cap a few times. Next, grab your glue and your cap or bottle. Wrap the strip around the cap, gluing at the start and at the end. Secure it with a rubber band. For step 2, I'll be cutting out the end caps. I'm adjusting my compass so that I can try to make them just a bit larger than my center tube. Most people spin the compass, but I sometimes find it easier to spin the paper, especially when I'm filming it. I'll make 2 circles and cut them out. Step 3, I'll glue it all together. I start by marking the centers at the indents my compass made. This is a good time to poke through the centers with a push pin. I did this a little later. Next, apply a bead of glue around the edge of the center tube and place it on top of one of the circles. Notice that the printed side of my first circle is facing down. Make sure the tube is centered, then let it dry just a bit. Now you can repeat the process to glue the tube to the second circle. This time, the printed surface on the cardboard circle is facing up. I wanted to make sure the blank surfaces were facing the same direction. In step 4, I'll glue a few rubber bands to the center tube. The bands will provide a bit of traction for the string I'll be using to spin the pulley. This step is optional because you could just leave the rubber bands you added when you glued the center tube, and that would work just fine. Since I want a smooth layer of rubber on the whole surface, I'm taking the extra time to do this. I started by removing the band I used when gluing the tube, then made a cut and wrapped it around the center tube so I could mark where it crossed over itself. Since the 3 bands cover my tube nicely, I'll cut 3 bands to the same length. Now, apply glue to the surface of the center tube and lay in the bands. Piece of masking tape to hold it while it dries. In step 5, I'll add a paper clip hanger. Hold the clip like this, then bend the outer end toward you to make a 90-degree or right angle. Now simply slide the end through the center holes you made in the end caps of the pulley. To keep the pulley from falling off, you can add a bead of hot glue to the end, or slide on a small pencil eraser. Or you can just bend the end with a pair of small jewelry pliers like I did. A variation of the simple pulley is something I call a string spinner. Just turn the end caps into decorative elements and you can turn your pulleys into kinetic art. Instead of plain circles, cut your end caps in interesting shapes to look like flowers, gears, or stars. Mark and poke holes in the centers and glue them to a center tube just like you would do with a pulley. You can also glue bands onto the tube if you'd like, but this time I'm just leaving the band I used to hold it while it was drying. Once both ends are glued, set a weight on top and let the glue dry. You can also get similar effects by gluing cutouts onto the end cap that faces out. In the next video, I'll show you how to make star gears. For more information on this project and others, check out our website at steamdesignlab.com.